what we'll have to do is, we will have to have what we call a strategy meeting.
Yeah.
To talk about the risk to the baby. And then, we will have to follow our procedures along the child protection investigation.
Yeah.
So as part of that, we don't need to seek your consent for information, but we can get that information.
Well, as I said, it will be private, you will not be able to get it. Okay?
And we would rather work with you, so we know that you're getting the right care.
I've seen from personal experience how much you want to work with me in resolving these issues.
Joanna will want to work with you.
On the 2nd of September, I have asked you, please don't do that to the baby, because I knew what kind of emotional harm you will cause to her. I was begging Lindsay Kay and the judge to put me in a mother and baby placement with the baby, because I knew exactly what's going to happen to her. Okay? Don't speak for 1 minute, please. You didn't even want to hear. Okay? Now, the baby I'm expecting, trust me, will not get into your hands. Okay? I will not let that happen. You'll damage 5 of my children, and I'll make sure this will not happen again. Okay? You do not want to work with me, because for me to get an appointment, for me to see you to discuss any concerns, I have to scream at the main reception, scream that if something happens to my daughter, I'll create a legal hell for you in Gateshead Council, and that's when I receive a letter with an appointment. Okay, like once a month, and that's if I scream literally at the Civic Centre for one. You have never really invited me for any discussions. You have I've been told by Lindsay Kay that unless I say that I am a victim of domestic violence, social services will not be considering putting me in a baby mother placement. She actually said it in a very blackmailing way. I have to make up a story that I'm a victim, or else will not be considered.
Would you like to go on a mother baby?
Are you kidding me? Are you joking? I'm sorry. Are you joking with me?
You're just saying to us
You
that
emotionally abused my daughter.
You've just
for
said
6 months. That was with
just said you weren't.
This baby will
you
not even be born in this country.
Okay.
Okay, so that won't be necessary.
The procedure.
You don't understand.
Your unborn is likely to be subject to child protection plans as a part of these proceedings.
Sir?
Your unborn child is likely to be subject to a child protection plan.
It will not be
and will be a part of these proceedings.
No, it won't be. It will not be.
Why will it not be?
Because if that case is not finished by the time I give birth, the baby will not even be born in the UK. Okay?
So would you have to make the choice of whether you stay in this country to fight for your other children, or leave the country and have that baby then?
Do you know pregnancy lasts 9 months? I don't think
But you don't know how far along you are.
Well, you don't have to know. I'm telling you that if that case is not finished, which it probably will be by then, I will not be giving birth in the UK. Okay? So that baby will not be subject to anything.
To inform whichever country or whichever law you're in.
That's
an action will be taken.
Well, that's fine.
But
you know, as from personal experience, I know that other countries are not as vicious and unreasonable as UK is. Yeah, trust me, been in the situation before. I've sought legal advice, and there's really nothing you will be able to do.
What if this baby's born whilst the care proceedings are still ongoing?
It will not be.
We've got the final hearing date, but it might not be concluded.
Well, I have family that can look after the baby whilst I come for the hearings. There is no problem. You don't understand. You don't ever bothered to talk to me. You've never bothered to have any discussions about any concerns. I've been blackmailed. Unless I say it, then you don't want to hear. I've never been offered any appointments. Right now, I don't even want to talk to you. Okay? I don't believe that you have any of my children's interests at heart. For example, I cannot criticize Charlene in front of my children, yet she goes and tells my children that daddy's been very bad, he's not nice, he doesn't want to talk to us. I've got my children running to me saying, Mommy, they're saying such bad things about daddy. Isn't that emotional abuse?
No, because
it is.
It's the truth.
No, it's not the truth.
Ask you this.
You told my children that my husband put them at risk because they could have got electrocuted. No. So not even true, because there was no live electric in the cables that were exposed, they were being worked at. Yet my son, when he first saw me during contact, was shouting at me that how could I allow his father, put him in a house with live electric where he could have got killed. Isn't that emotional abuse? Wasn't even true. You see?
Right. I'm going to ask you one last time, and I know that this has been asked before. Would you be assessed on your own?
Why should I be assessed on my own?
Because we want to assess you as a single mom away from your husband, right? To see whether you could offer the children the safe care, and you know if you're able to meet their overall needs. And would you consider?
Do you know? I have literally begged for that on the 2nd of September. You didn't even want to hear. It's been 6 months, really, where you've emotionally abused every single member of my family. You've made up lies, telling about Junior just very, very recently. You couldn't have even left him alone without ruining his reputation. So right now, we are in court, and we are defending the case as a family, and that's how it will stay. And by the way, you've never offered that to me before. The first thing I've heard about this offer is in the statement from just a couple of days ago.
Well, never told Lindsay Clay asked you.
She said to me, if I make allegations of domestic violence, which were not true, then you will consider. That's what she told me. Now, right. I'm not going to lie that I'm a victim of domestic violence, and obviously, I did ask for the mother and baby placement on the 2nd of September, but not on the condition that I have to make up lies.
So why is an issue now? Why are you laughing and saying like, am I joking when you're saying you
joking? I
when
said
you
on
ask
the
for it
7th
now?
I was begging for that so you don't damage my daughter.
So what about
this baby will not be born in this country? Okay, it's not
what
going
about
to be
now? Right, it's not too late.
Well, put me in a mother and baby placement this week with the baby and all the children, and of course I will do that. I've already said that so many times. I've been crying, I've been shouting, can you please arrange that from the 2nd of September? None of you wanted to hear.
Would you stay away
But now you
from...
hear I'm pregnant, and obviously you know very well you cannot do anything about me if I decide to leave the country and have any. No, you can't. No,
Believe me, I've been
there
to
are
other
countries in this world, my
parents.
dear, that you have absolutely no legal right to request anything. All you can do is have social services from that country to check the welfare of the baby, and that's even if you know where I am on the first place. Okay? There is many, many places you can go. Trust me, I've checked, I've heard stories, I've spoken to other women in my position.
And it's just unfortunate that we're going to have to alert kind of airports and ports and all sorts.
There is nothing you can do.
But that is
You can't stop me from leaving the country. You cannot actually stop me from leaving the country. Nothing you can do. Anyway, the baby will not be born once the proceedings are on. It will be finished by then. So,
okay.
That's it.
Okay. If you change your mind?
Change my mind about what?
Mother and baby.
Well, I already told you,
placement.
put me in a mother and baby placement with all the
But
children
we can
this
only
week
do
or next
that.
week.
Would you separate from your husband?
What? From now or after the final hearing?
No.
Why are you expecting me to leave
But
my
then
husband now?
Because then we can't place you in a mother and baby placement.
because we're
It's
worried
still
about
an
his
issue.
behaviour.
I'm worried about
his
your behaviour.
diagnosis,
There is no diagnosis,
which
my
is
dear.
his Met threshold to
Sure.
issue care proceedings.
But that threshold is made up.
The judge
We are
doesn't
where we
know
are,
what
yeah.
has on something.
Yes,
you
they
know?
do. I do, they do, and trust me, it's happened to me before. Okay? It's happened to me before. I had a child removed from my care within 3 days of him being born. On the basis we made a complaint in the hospital, and a previous partner made allegations of domestic violence, which were never being found in court anyway. Okay? So I've seen that before. It was all nonsense, and it was proven in court. It was nonsense, and I got Junior back. Because he was never removed from my care. Okay, but it took a year of absolute emotional torture. Okay? So as I said to you, mother and baby placement, if you're willing to do this from now.
But
I
you're
will not be
willing to
separating from my husband unless the final hearing says that if I don't argue the
But then
children,
it's
that's
too
the only.
late. it'll be too late
No,
then?
because I have heard of other situations where father is told to stay at home, mother is in a baby in father placement until the final hearing decides what's going to happen.
No, the final hearing, the judge will decide whether the kids return your care or not. And I need to be realistic with you that the way things are going, we have got nothing to say that anything's changed. Why would the children be returned to your care based on the fact that our concerns are just increasing?
Why?
So
The mental health concerns are not real because, as I said, we were both examined in 2005. If my husband had the mental health concerns that Charlene suggests, the court would never have given him the child. Do you see?
we're
There was
seeing
no
the
such
behaviour
thing.
now, and that really worries us.
But when I asked you about his aggressive behavior, you said to me that it's the way he talks about Charlene, and that he says that she seemed like having some kind of
Can I
mental
just ask you
disabilities.
then, where is he?
He's at home.